Hello, everybody. Hope you are doing well. So I just had a quick little video topic that I wanted to discuss and talk about. Um, I watched this documentary, I don't know, probably like a little over a week ago on Netflix, and it was called, hold on one second here. It was called Bad Influence, The Dark Side of Kidfluencing. So I just thought it was interesting, and I just wanted to do a little video here and talk about it as a topic. So basically, I had never heard of this person or this creator, but there's this girl whose name is Piper Rockelle, um, and her mother. Essentially, I don't want to give away all the details, if you haven't seen it, because it's pretty good. But basically, her mother had started out, I believe, doing like those kid pageants with her when she was young, where they dress up and they go through like they're whatever they're kids, but it's like they're trying to be Miss America or whatever the I don't know the whole point of it is, but those are kind of like creepy anyways, because they like dress all these kids up in these little out like bathing suits, and I don't know, it's just fucking weird. They're like wearing makeup, and anyways, so long story short, you know, I can't remember exactly specifically what year this all started, but as social media has taken off, her mother started doing um, social media videos with her when she was young, very young. And again, I can't remember what platform that the mother had started her on. It was like Snapchat or I don't know, something like that. Um, and she basically blew up. She gained a whole bunch of followers, and I know there's a whole bunch of other types of those people out there. Again, I don't really watch that the family influencer type thing. It's not something I really like consume as far as like content, so I don't really know. But I know there's a whole bunch of them out there. So this Piper Rockelle girl, was kind of like blowing up. So the mother moves her out to LA. And the mother somehow gets linked up with this young guy who I think she's like having a relationship with. And he's like helping basically film all the content and post it and that sort of stuff. So, she's in LA, and I think the career is still taking off. I think she started doing some sort of, like child acting. And it's interesting because there are, there's obviously laws as far as like child actors because they had been taken advantage of in the past, and how, how that all works with them working in the industry, the movie industry or TV shows. I think they obviously have to have, there's certain hours that they can work. They have to have breaks. I think there's laws that have to do with as far as, the parents not basically, taking all the money, that it has to be given to the children. So I don't know exactly how that all works, but I know there's laws in place. But essentially, for the whole influencer world, it's changing now, and I think it varies from state to state. But during this documentary, and as she's blowing up, there's essentially at that time there were no real rules as far as what happens with all the money. So the mother, the money just basically starts pouring in over YouTube or I don't know, whatever other platforms. So this young girl, Piper Raquel, they start focusing more on that. The mother has her focus on that. They start getting other young kids involved in this like content making process, and they start this whole thing called the Squad, which it's kind of like it's like the kids' version of like I don't know, maybe like a David Dobrik type situation where they have like the group of their people that they all film with, the vlog squad or whatever it was. And that was creepy enough for the older people, so you can imagine how it is for the young kids. So but anyway, so the mother, she's like basically like like I don't know if it's the mother or the boyfriend dude, the young guy that she has helping her film everything, or both of them. They're like, content creator savants. They basically are finding a way to ride whatever the current trend is, and pump out those videos with these kids. They're filming like day and night. They're filming like all day long, working like crazy hours. These kids, they have them living, some of them in a house all together, and they're just filming content like all day long. And a lot of, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Like the parents, obviously, like when you're trying to get your kid into child acting or whatever, it's just kind of a weird thing to start with, because I don't know, the motives of some of these people. Like whenever you're making money or your whole income is based off your child, it's just like a weird type situation. But um, there's these other kids and their parents were basically kind of going along with the whole thing. And the mother of this Piper Rockelle, she starts to do more just kind of weird things to ride whatever that wave of the current trend is on social media. They start doing like more like sexualized type content. And meanwhile, this Piper Rockelle girl is just getting older and older over the years, but still very young, in her teens. I still think today, I don't even know if she's 18 years old yet. Um, so, as this progresses, some of the parents start to kind of catch on to the weirdness, and pull their child out of the whatever, the squad type thing that they have going. But she's still able to maintain, like, whatever the viewership and the image that everything going on is normal. So, again, I don't want to give away the details to the whole thing because it's pretty interesting. But towards the end of it, she really starts getting into like some weird stuff. She has, essentially probably like pedophiles contacting the mother, reaching out, and she was like doing crazy stuff, like shipping her daughter's like underwear to these fucking pedophiles, and I don't know, getting money, just like weird, super weird stuff. So, kind of towards the end, essentially there was a lawsuit that was, uh, put up towards that mother of Piper Rockelle with some of the parents, the disgruntled past parents of the children that she used in her videos. And I think they settled outside of court. But this mother is still out there today. She's making money off of her child. And I think they demonetized her YouTube account at some point when this kind of blew up and got, in the news. But she's been able to find other ways to whatever other platforms to monetize her daughter. And, it's still continuing today. So who knows when she turns 18, unfortunately, I hope she's not like pimping out her daughter on OnlyFans, but, you never know with some of these people. So I just thought it was kind of interesting. The people are commenting on here. I've never had people comment on here. It's kind of funny. So what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. So the whole kidfluencer space, it's interesting how, because obviously these social media platforms, they need people posting and they need people viewing the content to make money off, or advertising money. So at what point do they draw the line, on certain amount of content, even though it generates views, where do you draw the line just as far as, what's decent to be making money off of. So, I just finished up also the new season of Black Mirror, which was pretty good. But, we're basically, depending on who you are, we're basically living in Black Mirror. Some people more than others are, technology is affecting their lives in some dystopian way. So, it's just very interesting times, the whole social media space. So I definitely recommend that documentary to check out. It's pretty interesting, like I said, and just a crazy world that we live in. So, hopefully, it'd be cool. It's cool. Like I said, there's so many positive things about whatever the internet or social media. So, hopefully these companies, you know, use their platforms in a positive way, so to affect the world. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to this girl in the future, and other other kidfluencers like her. I'm sure there's a bunch of other people in the space out there. So anyways, that's it for today. Have a good day, everybody. Peace out.